Have you ever tried to get a narcissist to apologize to you, or you feel like you are owed one? You try to get them to acknowledge you, see your side. Well, you're just not going to get that. Not in the way that you think you're going to, of a lot of different reasons when you're dealing with a narcissist. And I'm going to get into that in this video. So stay tuned. Hey, I'm Rebecca Zung. If you're new here, welcome. This is the place for you to get everything that you need to feel empowered, to turn things around for you. I'm an attorney. I'm the author of Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win, which is a best-selling book. I'm also a globally recognized negotiations and high conflict communications expert. I've helped people in many different trials. I've done hundreds of trials, thousands of negotiations. I've seen narcissists in all different scenarios. And we are tackling a very important topic today on why narcissists can't really apologize. And if you're endlessly waiting over there for a real apology, you're not alone, because you're feeling like it's an unfair situation. You bought into the life that they promised, whether it was a romantic situation, whether it was a work situation, maybe it's even a family situation, who knows? But you expected a certain thing. They set a tone of some sort, and maybe they set this tone over and over and over again. Narcissists keep you alive on hope, and then they dash it over and over again with their string of broken promises over and over and over again. They're really good at lip service. They're terrible at following through. Will they ever apologize? Not and mean it. I mean, it's not to say that they don't use the word sometimes. If they ever do apologize, it's manipulative. I always say it's a faux apology. And why can't they apologize in a meaningful way without saying things like, I'm sorry that you made me do it, or it wasn't my intention, or whatever it is. There's never a real, genuine, heartfelt apology that is all about you, all about how they hurt you, and really with empathy, and meaning that their behavior is actually going to change, and that you're going to see real, genuine emotion behind it, an understanding of whatever it is that they caused. Let's dive into this, okay? You're dealing with a person who has a very, very fragile ego, and they have an inflated sense of self-importance because they are actually the person who has the most pain, the most shame, the most deep-seated insecurity of them all. What you see going on out here is actually a huge mask for what's going on inside of here, which is they feel small. They feel tiny inside. And so apologizing, basically exposing that pain, that shame, that small person inside. It's already so fragile that it basically breaks that. It's like survival for them. An apology is actually like, I'm not going to survive if I have to expose myself. I don't survive if I expose myself, because there's already such a fragile thing going on inside of there. That false sense of superiority, that false sense of all of this that's going on. It's such a lying in the balance up here that one small little thing can be a fissure in all of that. If they say something like, any little bit, if they say something like, you're too sensitive, or I was just trying to help you, that deflection serves to protect their ego from the vulnerability that comes from admitting any fault. It serves as a way to avoid their own shortcomings and the emotional impact of their behavior, because they already feel so small. They can't absorb any more to that already fragile, small ego. The second reason that they can't apologize, they have a complete lack of empathy. And that lack of empathy means that they don't have any understanding to the impact of their actions, nor do they care about the impact of their actions. And so because they have that limited capacity, they don't see things from another person's perspective. So it makes it difficult for them to understand or acknowledge nor care about the pain that they've caused. So they really have no time for it. They see it all as a waste of time. They see it all as something that they have to deal with. It's impatience for them. And so consider this example. A narcissistic partner forgets an important date, like an anniversary. When you express your disappointment, they respond with, "You're overreacting. I had a lot on my mind." They fail to see how their actions affected you emotionally. In a workplace context, a narcissistic boss might take credit for a team member's work. When the team member confronts them, instead of apologizing, the boss might say, "Well, it was my idea anyway," or "You should be happy I noticed your work at all." These kinds of statements completely discount the person's feelings. This lack of empathy prevents them from acknowledging the hurt and unfairness of their actions. They just completely don't see it. Okay. So those are examples of the lack of empathy. If you agree with me so far, put "sorry, not sorry" in the comments below. I'm sure all of you guys have seen this before. The next reason is the need for control. Narcissists have a relentless need for control. Apologizing requires relinquishing control and admitting vulnerability, which narcissists find intolerable. They perceive apologies as a loss of power. In a personal relationship, a narcissist might refuse to apologize for making a unilateral decision, for example, like making a decision on their own, something that affects both people. For example, let's say they decide to move to a new city without consulting the other person in the relationship. And then when the person confronts them, they might say, "Well, but I already knew it was the best decision for us." They just jump to whatever the conclusion is. They don't, again, this kind of goes back to the no empathy thing, or it's like they don't see the impact. "Well, you should trust my judgment." Apologizing would mean they made a mistake, or yielding control. All of these things are unwilling to do. They're unwilling to see. They don't want to apologize. They don't want to see the impact. In a work setting, if a narcissistic manager implements a failed strategy, they might avoid taking responsibility by saying it wasn't executed properly by the team, or the market conditions were unpredictable. They avoid apologizing because it would mean admitting their strategy was flawed, thereby losing control over the narrative. So what they do is they go right to the outcome, but they don't want to look at what happened. They don't want to have to apologize for their actions. Have you ever experienced a situation where narcissists fail to apologize? I'm sure that you have. So share your story below in the comments. Your experiences help others who are going through these similar challenges. And here's the thing. I want you all to forget about getting a narcissist to see your side, acknowledge you, think that things are going to be fair, because they're never going to be. I always say never jade. I always wear jade, right? Because I'm half Chinese and I'm half German, but never jade. Never justify, argue, defend, or explain, because you're never going to get a narcissist to see your side. Next reason that they don't apologize is because they just don't want to have to admit that they're wrong. Again, it goes back to that fragile ego. They're already so fragile. They're already feeling so small. Think about it. People who are feeling authentically powerful, people who feel powerful, who feel big, who feel good about themselves, they have no problem. "Hey, I'm really sorry I did that. Let me handle that for you. Let me take care of that." They have no problem being the bigger person, the good person, who they are in their skin, because they know who they are. It's the people who feel small. It's the people who already are so fragile that it's all lying in the balance all the time. Apologizing opens the door to more criticism, rejection, even abandonment. They're fear-based people, fear-based individuals. They desperately are trying to avoid this. They're closed off people. This fear leads them to deny any wrongdoing, even in the face of overwhelming evidence. You can say whatever. You can put a phone with evidence in their face, or you can put papers in front of their face, witnesses, whatever. They'll say whatever they need to. They're not going to admit. Imagine a scenario where a narcissistic colleague is caught spreading false rumors about another coworker. When confronted, instead of apologizing, they might say, I was just passing along what I heard, or everyone else was talking about it. They'll deny their role to avoid potential backlash and consequences of their action. In another instance, a narcissistic partner who's been unfaithful might vehemently deny any wrongdoing despite clear evidence, right? I mean, I've had situations where I was representing somebody who she saw a husband going into, she followed him and this other woman all the way to a hotel. They checked into the hotel. They went into the hotel. They were in there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it is, saw them come out of the hotel, took pictures, the whole thing. He said they were just in there talking. Like, obviously, she didn't go into the room with them. They just went into the room and they talked. You're imagining things. You're just insecure. They refuse to apologize because admitting to their actions could lead to the end of the relationship or damage their reputation. They're not going to apologize. So you have to be the one to stand up for yourself and stand in your own power. And if you're ready to negotiate with a narcissist, you need power. Get my free Crush My Negotiation prep playbook at winmynegotiation.com. 15 pages. People have literally won their entire negotiations with it. winmynegotiation.com. That'll help you get started. Remember, understanding why narcissists can't apologize we're not excusing their behavior here, people. I want you to empower yourself so that you can help yourself. So if you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with other people, and make sure you subscribe here and hit that notification bell. You subscribing here helps this channel grow. It helps the algorithm so that more people can get access to this information, be empowered. We also can attract better guests, all the good things, so that you can benefit from better information, right? So, and you're sure not to miss future videos. Remember, I'm Rebecca Zung, attorney, expert, and high conflict negotiations expert. So as always, remember, you're stronger than you think you are, way smarter than you know. And the next video that I want you to watch is 2 people that narcissists cannot tolerate. 2 people narcissists cannot tolerate. I'll see you over there. But remember, before we go, that today's a great day to start negotiating your best life, wherever you are as the jumping off point. I will see you in that next video. Shopify helps millions sell billions around the world through their digital courses, through their digital products, at the touch of a button, on their smartphones, on social media, however they want, including me, at shop.rebeccazung.com. You can access your store from all over the world, just the touch of a button from your smartphones. Start accepting payments. Everything you need to sell online, manage orders, and develop relationships in one place, and look fabulous doing it. Shopify is the commerce platform that is revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide, including my own, at shop.rebeccazung.com. So right now, what you need to do is sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/bestlife, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/bestlife to take your retail business to the next level today. Shopify.com/bestlife.